As governor, I took an oath to faithfully uphold the Constitution of the state of Texas, a pledge that I have kept every day as I've worked on behalf of Texans for the last 14 years. That's the same Constitution that clearly outlines the authority of any governor to veto items at his or her discretion. Just as I have, following every legislative session during my service as governor, I exercise this authority to veto funding for an office whose leadership had lost the public's confidence by acting inappropriately and unethically. I wholeheartedly and unequivocally stand behind my veto, and I'll continue to defend this lawful action of my executive authority as governor. We don't settle political differences with indictments in this country. It is outrageous that some would use partisan political theatrics to rip away at the very fabric of our state's Constitution. This indictment amounts to nothing more than abuse of power, and I cannot and I will not allow that to happen. I intend to fight against those who would erode our state's Constitution and laws purely for political purposes, and I intend to win. I'll explore every legal avenue to expedite this matter and bring it to a swift conclusion. I'm confident that we will ultimately prevail, that this farce of a prosecution will be revealed for what it is, and those responsible will be held accountable. Thank you. I'll be happy to answer a question or two.
Governor, you talked about public confidence there in the DA's office. Do you believe the indictment alone at all affects the public's confidence in the office of the governor?
Here's what I think is really important for the people to understand, not just in Texas, but this country. And that is, we have seen an office in the form of the Travis County District Attorney's Office, the lead legal individual for criminal affairs in this county, and overseeing public officials who conducted themselves in an incredibly inappropriate way, stopped for a DWI with a blood alcohol level almost 3 times the legal limit. An individual who, when booked in, had to be restrained, was abusive to law enforcement, was kicking the door. I think Americans and Texans who have seen this agree with me that that is not an individual who is heading up an office that we can afford to fund. Now, the people of Travis County may decide that that is the type of individual that they want in that office. But as the governor of the state of Texas, and as the individual who has the authority constitutionally to decide whether we're going to spend state dollars on that, I made that decision and I said no. And given that information and given that choice again, that is exactly what I would do.
Governor, there were reports that afterwards, that after this veto, that you or your office made some suggestion that you could restore the money if she would resign. Did that happen, and is that appropriate?
Listen, the details of my decision-making were very clear. I said early on that I was going to clearly veto those dollars as long as they had someone in that office who I'd lost confidence in. And I did exactly what I said I would do.